Depression is the pits. Seriously, it can hit at any time. Sometimes it jumps into people's life really quick, and other times it's a slow progression. We don't want depression, so I want to give you 5 tips that you can help with your own depression. You can use it today. Let me give you a hint. You actually have to do some work. Hi, my name is Nathan Peterson. I'm a specialist with OCD and anxiety-related disorders. I create videos every single week on different tips and tricks that are going to help you through your treatment with your OCD, anxiety, depression, and so many others. Make sure that you are subscribed so you do not miss any of these videos. So there is major depressive disorder, which is a diagnosis. It's more than just feeling sad. To actually be diagnosed with this, you need to experience a depressed mood, lose interest in things that you used to enjoy, and most of the time this needs to be for at least 2 weeks. In addition, you need to have at least 4 of the following symptoms, and they must be present at least every day or nearly every day within that 2-week period. Difficulty thinking or concentrating, eating too much or eating too little, feeling either slowed down or noticeably fidgeting, feelings of worthlessness or inappropriate guilt, low energy, reoccurrent thoughts of death or suicide, sleeping too much or too little. Since I specialize in OCD, there definitely is a link that we see between OCD and depression. Depression in people with OCD most often occurs after the onset of OCD symptoms. What this suggests is that depression may be related to your personal stress of living with OCD, or troubles that have developed at home or work as a result of this disease. Scientists also believe that there may be a biochemical factor that contributes to this depression. We know, for example, that OCD and depression are both characterized by changes in the production and activity of serotonin, a chemical that relays signals between nerve cells. But if you're here, you're like, I already know this. I'm feeling it. A lot of people just want to know, why do I feel this in the first place? Where did it come from? And what can I do about it? So what we know is depression tends to kind of run in the family. There is that genetic component there. So it could be mom, could be dad, grandpa, great-grandpa, but also life experiences that play a part into why somebody might feel depressed. But let's go through 5 different tips that can help you through it. And before we go through this, understand that you're probably not going to want to do any of them. That's what depression does. It takes the motivation away, it strips it away from you. It's going to make you think that nothing's going to work. It's going to make you think that you need to be motivated to do something. That's one of the biggest keys when it comes to recovering from depression. Stop waiting for motivation to happen. It's not going to happen. You make the motivation happen by doing the things you don't want to do, by living the life that you want to live. So if your brain ever says, I don't feel like it today, duh, that's the perfect moment to do the thing you don't want to do. Stop waiting. We're not playing the waited out game anymore. So number 1, exercise. Take 15 to 30 minutes every single day. Get your heart pumping. People who are depressed may not feel like being active, but make yourself do it anyway. Ask your friend to exercise with you, ask your buddy, whoever, ask your loved one, get them to do it with you because it's going to keep you motivated. But once you get into this exercise habit, it won't take long until you notice a difference in your mood. But I also want to say that people sometimes are like, but I exercise and it doesn't do anything for me. But did you know that there's actually a difference in just exercising and exercising with meaning and power? So if I exercised with that thought of like, I really don't feel like it, but I'm going to do it anyway. And I'm doing it because I need my brain to learn that I'm the boss. I get to do what I want to do. I'm going to push myself hard and I'm not going to stop. But if I'm like, I'm only doing this so I can get this depression to go away, then guess what? You're going to keep noticing the depression because that's the reason you're doing the exercise. Do it to change your brain. Do it to change your life. Schedule this out. Don't wait for the moment to say, okay, I think I should exercise today, because you're probably not going to do it. Say, I got it on my schedule, 9 a.m., that's when I'm doing it, 30 minutes. I'm gonna get my heart pumping, I'm gonna pull something up on YouTube. It's super easy, do it in your house. You don't even have to go to a gym. Go for a walk, get some fresh air, but be consistent. You can't work out one day and say, well, that didn't do anything. Number 2, eat healthy. And I'm not saying you need to change your entire lifestyle. You're only going to be eating greens and you're only going to be eating nuts, and that's how you're going to get past this depression. Like, no. Depression can affect this appetite. So somebody may not feel like eating at all, but others might feel like overeating. If depression has affected your eating, you need to be extra mindful of getting the right nourishment for your body, the proper nutrition, the proper vitamins your body needs. This can influence a person's mood and energy so much. So eating plenty of fruits and vegetables is important, but also eating regular meals. Even if you don't feel hungry, you eat something anyway. Eat something light. Eat a piece of fruit. Eat some vegetables. A lot of people hear this and they assume this is kind of an all or nothing deal. I either eat healthy or I don't. And that's not what this is about. It's taking what you're already doing. I don't care if you're eating fried food, but you're eating some vegetables and fruit with it. But if you down the road realize that eating all this fried food really isn't helping me too much, then we want to minimize that. But what I'm saying is add to what you're already doing. Get the proper nourishment for your body. Number 3, learn how to stop these negative thoughts. Depression doesn't just make you feel bad, it can also cause you to think more negatively. Changing those negative thoughts are so important. It can improve your mood. Cognitive behavioral therapy, or CBT, is a type of therapy that works to alter common patterns of negative thinking, and these are called cognitive distortions. These can be an unhelpful thought like, that person just cut me off on the road and they're such an idiot and they're so selfish and this world's so horrible. If I have that thought early in the morning on my way to work, how do you think the rest of my day is gonna go? What if I took that thought and I challenged it and I said, oh man, that person did just cut me off, but what if they're headed to the hospital? What if they're having a baby? What if they're a brand new driver? What if their turning signal just happened to be broken? Doesn't matter if it's likely or not. We're giving people the benefit of the doubt. We're recognizing unhelpful thoughts. I'm jumping to conclusions about who this person is. I'm labeling them. I'm doing what's called emotional reasoning. My body feels a certain way, so my brain is tricked me to think it must be true. Go to your search engine and search up unhelpful thinking styles. There are plenty of documents that go along with this. You need to identify which ones you're doing, and it's your job to defend yourself. I'll create a whole separate video on how to do this. But a good way to think about it is take that first automatic thought that comes to your mind and imagine yourself standing in front of Judge Judy. You know Judge Judy? She's pretty scary. And you say, if I had to prove that this thought is absolutely true to Judge Judy, I'm standing right in front of her, could I do it? Would I win the case? Would she laugh me out of the courtroom? Because I can't say, because I feel like it's so true that that person is such an idiot and they just don't care about anyone else but themselves. She's gonna be like, show me the proof, show me the evidence. Just because they cut you off does not mean that's who they are as a person. You need to have them on the stand and say, I am a selfish person, I don't care about other people, and that's just who I am, and that's my whole livelihood, and you got it. Wow, you won the case, but guess what? That's not gonna happen. So why are we falling for it and believing things just because we feel it and think it? We gotta challenge and think about it first. Number 4, change your patterns, change your routines. If we do the same thing every single day, you're gonna get the same results. Depression loves to live in the same thing that you're doing every single day. Make it a point to change it up. I'm going to do my homework outside today. I'm going to go exercise. I'm going to call a friend. I'm going to make this task that I decided I'm going to do really meaningful. There's something that's called behavioral activation, and that's what this is all about. Schedule it out, even if it's a few things every single day that you are going to do differently. But do it with meaning. Don't just do it because like someone told me on the internet that I should change up my routine. Do it and say, this is how I'm gonna make it different. I'm going to school today. I'm gonna smile at everyone that I see. I'm gonna make it meaningful. My job today is to make somebody smile. This needs to be done with meaning. Number 5, try to notice good things. Depression affects the person's thoughts, making everything sometimes seem negative. They may dismiss the positive, and it can seem very hopeless. If depression has you noticing only the negative, Make an effort to notice the good things. And I'm not saying for every negative thought you gotta think of 2 positives. I mean, you could, but to me that's a little silly because you're not really doing it with meaning or power. Instead, what I want you to do is notice the good things. Be grateful. Notice the things you are grateful for. Set an alarm on your phone that's gonna go off and it's gonna say 2 things you're grateful for. You're gonna look around the room, you're gonna find them. I am so grateful that someone created a window. If they did not create this window, I would have this cold air breezing on me right now. Breezing on me? Is that a term? I don't know. I am so grateful for that screw that is holding that plate together on the wall, because if that weren't there, I'd probably stick my finger in there and shock myself. I'm so grateful that someone came up with that invention. I'm so grateful that I'm even able to breathe right now. Isn't that just amazing that we can breathe, our lungs expand, they contract? Notice the things that you're doing every single day. And don't just do it super quick, spend a lot of time with it. Write it down. That can be very helpful. I don't care if your alarm is going off 30 times a day to remind you to be grateful or to notice, because we need to be aware to even remember to notice. Consider your strengths, your gifts, your blessings. Most of all, don't forget to be patient with yourself. Depression takes time to heal. Unfortunately, this is not a quick fix. You went to go hang out with your friends and you made it really meaningful and you've noticed a lot of stuff today and you're eating healthy and you're exercising. And that night you're not gonna be like, sweet, my depression's gone. This is awesome, this is great. It takes time. Stay consistent, do it every day. I don't care if you feel like doing it or not. That's not the point. We're not waiting for that motivation. Remember? If we waited for motivation, you'd never do it. So here's my question for you. Do you struggle with depression? What things have worked for you? What things don't work for you? Thank you so much for watching this. If you know anybody that is struggling with depression, send this their way. Use the tools. Let me know how it's going for you. And I'll see you next time.